Hey guys, welcome back to Andrew Upshaw Fishing. Today's video is slightly different. Today I'm not going to talk fishing techniques. I'm not going to talk about how you should hold your rod and run your boat and how to buy a boat and how to choose colors. Today I'm going to dive deep into something that we all need. Something that is going to help you daily. Doesn't matter if you're a basketball player, a football player, a fisherman. This tip is going to help you tremendously. So make sure you watch the video, but more so, hit that subscribe button, bottom right hand corner, and drop me a comment after this video. Please drop me a comment. Let me know what you think, what you are doing to help yourself, because that is, at the end of the day, most important of all. So without further ado, let's get it started. Welcome back, guys. Today's video is a two-prong video. The first thing I want to talk to you about is my 2021 plan. You know, here lately I've gotten a lot of comments, a lot of messages on what I'm going to do for 2021. And I'm going to tell you right now, it was actually a really hard decision. I was trying to figure out if I was going to go maybe fish the pro circuit or fish the new trail, the National Professional League, fish the Opens, fish the Toyota Series, not fish at all. I mean, that was an option. And I know that sounds pretty crazy, but I deeply considered it. I mean, you talk about the year that I had. It was a very trying year for me. I didn't have the performance that I wanted and basically burned me out. And put me in a really depressed mood. I know and nobody wants to talk about depressed moods and things like that, but the second part of this video, we're going to really address the burnout. And I hope that you learn from my experiences and my problems that I had, and I want you to see how I'm going to adjust to make the Elite Series in 2021. So back to my plans for 2021, I guess it's time to announce that I will be fishing the Bassmaster Opens, all nine of them, all over the country. Be fishing all 9 of the Bassmaster Opens, and I will be headed to the U.S. Open at Lake Mead again, which is one of my favorite events. This year for the Bassmaster Opens, we have a really unique group of guys. Obviously, Scott's not going to be with us. He's going to be fishing the Elite Series. And congratulations again, Scott. If you're watching this, which I seriously doubt you will. But if you are watching this, congratulations, dude. We're all so proud of you and happy for you. I'm telling you right now, guys, there's nobody that stressed out more last year when it came to the Elite Series invite stuff than Scott. The guy couldn't sleep at night. He was having bad dreams. The guy put everything he had into qualifying. And I don't care what people think it might be a joke or a show or anything like that. That dude right there went above and beyond to make his dream possible. He wasn't giving it to him on a silver platter. He had to work for it. Hardcore. And I'm telling you guys, we fished one of the, if not the toughest schedule I have ever fished in my entire life, because everything was jammed up in the fall. And I'm going to tell you right now, I don't care what all those sports writers and editors say about everybody's in the deer stand and the fishing's great. That is a lie, because this year proved that it was an extremely tough fall. So, without further ado, the guys traveling with us this year is going to be Briley Hallman, Todd Castledine, Matt Pangrack, myself, and Billy Got a Bass. That's right, Billy's going to travel with us and fish on the pro side, which is super cool. Congratulations, Billy. I'm really happy for Billy. Like, he's one of the nicest, most genuine people you're ever going to meet and would literally give you the shirt off his back. And that just shows his character. I mean, he's such a good dude. I don't know how many tournaments Todd is going to travel with some fish, but I know he's going to fish some of them. I'm looking forward to that next week, or no, week after next. One of those weeks in the coming weeks, we are headed to film some really cool stuff as well. So I'm looking forward to filming with Todd Hallman and our buddy Jason. So you know what that means. We're going to have another challenge coming your way here soon. So plans. We're fishing the Opens. We're fishing the U.S. Open. I'm going to fish a few team events. And I got a really cool surprise for most of you. I'll be filming as a guest host for 10 episodes of Let's Fish TV. It's on Fox Sports Southwest and Southeast. You can find it online. You can find it on their YouTube channel. I'll be 10 episodes. That's a lot of filming. I mean, like, I want to say that Scott films 10 episodes a year on Discovery Channel. So I'm going to be an equal load as far as that goes. I'm going to be traveling around, fishing some really cool places. I can't wait. It's going to be so much fun. So make sure you check that out, and I'll make sure to let you know when all of those shows air and exactly where we will be filming. The second part of this video is about the burnout. You know, not just my burnout, but what a burnout means in my sport, which would be fishing, and other sports. We all go through it. I remember when I played football, and one thing that really strikes home to me is I went through a point where I wasn't having fun anymore. And ultimately, guys, it's all about having fun. You got to do things that you're passionate about, and the reason what drives that passion is how much fun they are. You know, you don't even realize that you're working. Like when I'm fishing, I don't even realize I'm working. I'm just out there trying to win. I'm competing. I am putting everything I have into that. But when you stop having fun, it kills it. Like, it absolutely, unequivocally kills your drive. And that's exactly what happened to me in football. I didn't want to go work out anymore. I enjoyed playing the game, but I didn't want to do all the things that led up to the game. And I equate that exactly what happened to me this year. I was really good and comfortable going out there and fishing the tournament, but I felt like at one point I was going through the motions too much. I had set the wrong goals for myself. I was not having fun. And a lot of that was my fault. I let the negativity in. You know, fishing the Bassmaster Opens, one thing about it is they'll let anybody fish them, which is fantastic. I want everybody to be able to have a chance to fish them. But there was only a handful of us that were fishing all 8 Bassmaster Opens. Well, what that means is that every single event, you're having an influx of new fishermen. You're not fishing against the same people at every event. You're fishing against an influx of all these new anglers a lot of times that have this fresh drive. They're going out there to knock your lights out, and they're going out there to catch them. When you start talking about how the Opens lined up this fall, I mean, there was a lot of back-to-back, 1 week off, fish again, 1 week off, fish again, and there was a lot of these really hard tournaments. Well, if that person was only going out there and fishing one event, they were rested, they were ready to go, all their eggs were in that basket. Well, when you're fishing a full series, it adds a lot more stress and strain. You're not as built for that. I let that get to me. I let the fact that they were so refreshed and I wasn't get to me. I let the fact that the money wasn't as good get to me. I let the fact that we were fishing in the fall and we should have been fishing in the spring get to me. You know, I was really looking forward to a few of those events. I was even looking forward to Louisville of all places, because we were going to hit it during the spawn. Instead, we hit it in the fall, and it was extremely, extremely tough. My biggest issue this year was the fact that I let all the negativity in and I stopped having fun. So how am I going to adjust for 2021? First things first, I'm going to realign my goals. I'm going to say, okay, last year, obviously, my goals weren't successful. I didn't make the Elite Series. I didn't win a tournament. I didn't make the Bassmasters Classic. I didn't win Angler of the Year. And that, that's always a goal of mine, is to win Angler of the Year. But this year, I'm going to work to be the most consistent angler you've ever seen. Now, will I fall short? Maybe. But I'm not going to swing for the fences. And I know that's such a raw term, swinging for the fences. You're going to hear people say, I'm trying to hit a home run, and if you fall short, you're going to have a double. Well, it's not really the case in fishing. Sometimes, especially what I did a few events, like second day, we'll say, for instance, second day of Cherokee. The first day I caught, not a good bag. I caught like 3 fish, I think. But I had a chance for a really big bag up shallow. Well, the second day I went out and threw a Demiki rig out deep, just trying to catch up as far as weight goes. And I had 5 bites and I didn't land one of them. So it was a bad event. So I swung for the fence that second day, and it was not a smart decision when you start talking about overall points. It was a very detrimental decision. I'm not going to take as many huge risks. There's an acceptable risk and then there's a huge risk. I'm going to try to flirt there in between the most that I can. I don't want to take so much that it kind of knocks me out of the event. And that's one thing that if you're fishing a full series and you're trying to accomplish, say, a goal of winning Angler of the Year or qualifying for something, the bigger the risk, the bigger or the larger the chance that you're going to finish at the bottom. Like, let's be honest here, guys. Like, if you run a 70 miles up a river and you're like, hey, I'm going. I'm determined. That's where the biggest fish in the river live, and you get locked out or your engine breaks down, you're done. You're not weighing in that day. There's a lot of situations where we look at, we take too big a risk. So I'm going to take more acceptable risk. One thing that's helped me this year, after the season, because obviously we finished the 2020 season, thank goodness, is I disconnected. I disconnected from the fishing world. I still made videos for you guys, but I didn't go fishing that much. I just spent a lot of time with my son. I spent a lot of time with my wife. And I spent a lot of time playing video games. I'm not going to lie. I spent a ton of time playing video games because I needed to disconnect mentally from the sport. And I think whenever you start talking about a burnout, if you don't disconnect, you will eventually get into such a vicious cycle of negativity that you never will recover. You won't hit a point where you have fun again. And I don't want to hit that point. I'm starting to get very excited about the year. I got my new boat coming next week, which I've got some really big things coming there. But that's for a whole different video. So let's get back on top. Once you complete the second thing, disconnect, you gotta start working on yourself. It's all about your own self. So whether it's your positive mental attitude, trying to spin things to make them a positive, look for the positive aspects. You know, one example that I think is so great, and I think we all need to hear it, is I've heard it so many times. I've said it a ton of times. When I'm out on there on the water and I've had a bad day, maybe I caught 1 fish, 2 fish, no fish, and I come in, but man, today was so bad, it was this bad, and I didn't catch anything, and it was rough, and it was windy, and it was cold, all those things, all those excuses about why you had a bad day. And then you have this random dude in the background say, well, at least you got to go fishing today. I was working all day and it was terrible. Right there should tell you, when you're out there playing a sport, whether it's football, baseball, basketball, fishing, whatever it is, and you have a bad day, there's still those people out there that would much rather have a bad day fishing than a bad day at work. And I can promise you that is a real thing. We have to reevaluate where we are in our positive mental attitude. And I talk about positive mental attitude. One person that I watch a lot of is Gerald Swindle. He is probably one of the most positive people out there, and I think it's so fantastic what he does and the way he aligns his mind. I think that is definitely something that we can all learn from, is how he aligns his mind and how he looks at all the positive aspects of life, because it's real easy to feel sorry for yourself. I've done it a ton. You ask my wife, she's like, oh, you're just feeling sorry for yourself. And that's a fact. You easily can fall in that trap of feeling sorry for yourself and blaming others and other situations for what's going on in your own life. And I know that I've definitely done that a ton. One way that you can readjust your positive mental attitude is to work on yourself. Go work out. Take a nap. I know it's so simple saying take a nap, but it'll make you feel better. You know, you can change your diet. You know, one of my biggest cruxes is drinking a Diet Coke. Do I like Diet Coke? Yeah, it tastes great. I want to drink them all the time. But they're really not that healthy. They're going to bring you down. They're going to make you desire caffeine and need caffeine to not have headaches and things like that. So adjust your diet. Work out. Work on yourself. Practice having fun again. You know, like, find things that bring you joy. For me, it was playing a video game this year because it helped me completely disconnect from the fishing world. And it allowed me to really see where my positives were. And positives are in bass fishing. I mean, I love it, man. I love competing. So one thing that I'm going to do here in a couple weeks, I'm going to go film a bunch of stuff with Todd Castledine, Bradley Hallman, and Jason Bonds. And we're going to go fish a really fantastic, and I mean fantastic, fishery. And that's one thing that I am, like, insanely excited about, because you know, those really great, fantastic fisheries help you realign. You know, you hook a bunch of 5 and 6 and 7 pound bass, and you're catching all these giant bass, and it gives you that boost, you know, and that's what I think we need. You know, sometimes you need to go find a place that you can catch a bunch of fish, because the more fish we catch, the more positive we're going to be and the more confidence we have. Because at the end of the day, guys, you have to have confidence in your ability. You can only watch so many YouTube videos to learn how to go fishing. You just got to go out there and do it sometimes. But I am really glad that you watch my videos. I just want to make you aware of that. Because I want you to know one thing about me, guys. I'm not just putting out videos to put out videos. I want to put out videos that I truly think will help people. And I think this video, you know, even if you don't want to watch it or deal with your problems or deal with your burnout, this video will absolutely help you deal with what you're dealing with. Is that like a double negative or something? I don't know what that is. But deal what you're dealing with. Because at the end of the day, we all have issues sometimes. We all have problems out there on the water. And we have to figure out a way to stay positive and move forward. Because at the end of the day, guys, I want to have fun fishing. I haven't had as much fun this last year, but I am bound and determined to get off my butt and go out there and have a good time in 2021 and qualify for the Elite Series, because I'm tired of feeling sorry for myself. I'm going to get out there in my Bass Cat and... oh, I can't talk about that. I'm going to get out there in my Bass Cat and we're going to go catch some bass this year. As much as I'm on social media, as much as I use social media, is a crux right now. It's something that I feel like we should avoid to a certain degree, because all it's doing is... all I see on there is negative stuff anymore. Let's be positive together. Let's fish together. Let's work together. And if you stay on my YouTube channel and you work with me, I promise you I'm going to bring you positive content. I promise you we're going to have a good time. And I'm not going to blast all the negativity that's out there. We're just going to focus on what we can focus on, and that is the positive mental attitude and the positive side of bass fishing. Because bass fishing as a whole, and I'm not just talking bass fishing in tournaments, but just in general, is blossoming right now. It's a huge industry, and everything is great. All the innovation, all the depth finders, all the rod and reels, all these things are what making this industry great. And it's all because of guys like you. They're out there buying the products, because what it's doing is allowing this sport to grow. Introducing your kids into fishing is a great way. Because I tell you one thing, even when I was dealing with COVID and everything, I was taking my kid to ponds. We were having a fantastic time fishing together and doing stuff that I haven't gotten to do in a really long time, because I've been so busy throughout the year. So right there was a positive that I should have been focusing on, but I was more at a negative point because of COVID and everything else. Guys, if you get a chance, hit that subscribe button. I know this was a really long video. It wasn't really that long, but it was a really in-depth and kind of hit you in the heart a little bit, because I know we all deal with these issues. I don't care what you do. Guys, be positive. Have fun the next time you're on water. Quit focusing on every negative that's out there and just figure out a way to be positive. So guys, without further ado, this is the end of the video. Thank you for watching. I hope this helps you avoid or get out of that fishing burnout. We'll see you again probably next week sometime. Sounds good.